Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Fall and Fallow Hort Pod. Our aim is to create and sustain an interest in plants and to combat plant blindness in everyone, everywhere. I know this sounds intimidating, but you're invited to visit our website, fallandfallow.com, for some great ideas on how you can help with this mission.
Fun fact, home gardening helps with soil conservation through reduced erosion because of the extensive root systems of the plants in the garden.
Join me now for a brief conversation with Avid home gardener CJ. We will discuss how this is accomplished at the most fundamental level. Hello, CJ. Welcome.
Thank you, Ro, and I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
CJ, I've known you for some time, and there is some similarity in our backgrounds. However, for the benefit of our listeners, could you please tell us a little about yourself?
Certainly, Ro. I am a homeowner who lives in the suburbs of New York. There, I have a garden in my backyard, and I also have some indoor plants. I wasn't born with a green thumb, but through research, trial, and error, and over time, I learned about the indoor and outdoor plants and flowers that I grow. And this knowledge and experience have helped me to cultivate a thriving outdoor garden and to successfully grow some indoor plants.
Thank you. Tell me about your indoor plants.
Sure, I have an aloe plant, a Chinese evergreen, a Calathea sabrina, a peace lily, a cactus, and a maranta.
What inspired you to take the extra step to identify them? It's much easier to say the plant with the yellow flower or the green plant, isn't it?
Yes, but I see my plants several times a day, and I talk to them, and I always wondered what their names were. So I took the time to do my research to find out their names and to learn more about them. And in this way, I am better able to take care of them.
Okay, that's very true. What's your plant care routine like?
Well, I water them once a week. I fertilize them as directed. I remove any dead leaves and stems and ensure they receive enough light. I have noticed that these plants do not need a lot of care and attention. If I must be away for an extended period of time, that is longer than a week, I ask someone in my household to water them for me.
Yeah. Maintaining the consistency in their care is so important. Whether it is the watering routine, the light requirements, the temperature, or the fertilizing requirements. They just do better when their care routine is not changed up all the time. And it seems that you have found a way to deliver that. That's wonderful. What are some things that come to mind when you look at your collection of plants? Like, how do you feel when you look at your plants and you see that they are responding to what you do?
Well, they brighten up the house and they give me a sense of calm and they keep me active. Also, on another note, I inherited all of these plants. I enjoyed taking care of them so much that I decided to start gardening outdoors also.
That's interesting. Let's take a short break, and we will talk about that when we return for the second segment.
Some trivia about Fall and Fallow. Did you know that Fall and Fallow is a horticultural community powered by you, and it is your energy that will build this community?
Welcome back, everyone, to the second segment of the Fall and Fallow Hort Pod. In the first segment, CJ shared with us her journey of how she acquired her indoor plants and how she maintains them so that they can continue to thrive. In this next segment, we will chat with her about the differences between gardening indoors and gardening outdoors. CJ will also discuss the challenges surrounding gardening outdoors. Hi, CJ, welcome back. Let's talk about your experiences gardening outdoors. It's a completely different ballgame, and were you able to transfer some of the knowledge and skills that you acquired from working with the houseplants to working in the outdoor garden?
Yes, thank you, Ro. Yes, you must ensure that the plants receive enough water, especially in the summer, to prevent them from drying up. And that goes for any plant, whether it is a house plant or an outdoor plant.
What were some of the differences that stuck out as far as the care of these plants go?
Well, outdoor gardening is more time consuming. So there is more ground to cover, is the first thing that comes to mind. I have 9 beds of various sizes, but I think the size of my garden is just enough for me to manage. If it were any bigger, it would be overwhelming. Other differences are in an outdoor garden, you must remove the weeds from the bed and add mulch to the beds to try to reduce the amount of weeds that grow. You also must ensure that the plants are planted in the right type of soil and that they have enough room to grow without crowding each other out and that they get enough sunlight.
Thank you. What are some of the challenges that you've experienced so far?
Well, what I have discovered is that gardening is time consuming. And if we do not attend to the beds, they become overgrown and do not look great anymore. I have other responsibilities that take priority, but I always make the time to garden. I estimate that I spend about 2 to 4 hours per week in the garden. If I have the time, I do it all in one day. Otherwise, I do a little every day until the work is completed.
Thank you. What stuck out to me is that you mentioned that, or what I got from this is that gardening is supposed to be relaxing. And if you overwork yourself, then you're defeating the purpose of gardening. So, a word to my listeners, just pace yourself and take a break if you need to. Thank you, CJ, for pointing that out. Now, specifically, what benefits have you derived from spending time with your plants?
I love being outdoors and taking long walks and just enjoying nature. When the weather is nice, I enjoy sitting outside when it is peaceful and quiet. I like to listen to the birds chirp, watch the squirrels scamper around, and watch the trees with their lush green leaves in the summer and the changing foliage in the fall. I enjoy the beautiful plants and flowers that are in bloom and find this very peaceful and calming. Attending to my plants keeps me active and helps me to burn calories, and I also feel more energized and relaxed. I also feel proud when I am complimented on how well the plants are thriving.
Thank you. It seems like the benefits are numerous, and you know what? They're free, they're nature's stress reliever. It's really a stress reliever.
Yes, that's exactly what it is for me.
Thank you. On this note, we will take our final break.
Some horde trivia that you may find interesting. Fallow in life means to take a rest, take a break, and what better way than to get out in nature?
Welcome back, everyone. CJ has shared with us the strategies that have worked successfully for her in growing plants indoors and in cultivating her outdoor garden. When we return, we will tap into CJ's knowledge once more for some tips that she can share with the beginning gardener. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the final segment of our interview with today's guest, CJ. CJ, what can you share with the beginning gardener?
Thank you, Ro. It is still a learning experience for me, and I am enjoying learning new things about gardening, and I hope you do too. However, overall, first try to determine the look you are trying to achieve. Look at the type of soil that's there and the amount of light and moisture that the area gets. And this will help you to determine which plants are best suited for those conditions. Also, think of the amount of time that will be needed to maintain the garden. Will you be doing the maintenance yourself, or do you have a gardener who will do the maintenance for you? If you are doing the maintenance yourself, will you have the time and energy to do it? If not, the garden may become overgrown if it is neglected. And if the gardener will be doing the maintenance for you, think of whether you will be able to afford it. It is a process that you may not get right the first time, but with dedication and through trial and error, your garden will evolve into one that you are comfortable with.
Thank you, CJ. Now, what are some must have tools for the shed?
For me, my must have tools are gardening gloves, a hand shovel, a spade for digging holes, a pair of handheld pruning shears, a pair of hedge clippers, and a garden claw to remove weeds and to loosen and aerate the soil. Additionally, I also dress so that I protect myself from the sun and bugs. I normally try to wear cotton short sleeve t shirts because they are absorbent and keep me cool. And my pants have pockets that are deep enough to hold my phone, to store napkins that may be needed for wiping away the sweat, and to carry the handheld pruning shears for easy access. I also wear a wide brimmed hat to block the sun, and I drink lots of water to stay hydrated. I try to garden in shaded spots, so the time of day that I garden varies. However, I would suggest that the best time of the day to garden is in the morning before the sun gets too hot, and in the afternoon after 4 p.m. when it is cooler. I enjoy gardening when it's peaceful and quiet. And sometimes I can hear music being played either by my neighbors or by my husband, and I enjoy that also. I may even dance with the music. So once I have my tools, gardening in any condition works for me. I would say I am an evolving, do it yourself gardener. I try to do things on my own. I do my research. I ask questions when necessary. And I may make lots of mistakes, but I learn better and I retain more that way. And finally, just enjoy the process.
Thank you, CJ, for sharing your evolution as a gardener. The challenge to all my listeners out there is to find the gardening style that works for you and to make it happen. To all, thanks for listening. And if you enjoyed this hot pot from Fallow, please tune in next week for our next episode. I welcome your feedback, so please visit fallandfollow.com to fill out a short survey and take the quiz. Until next time, remember nature's oath. Love nature and nature will love you back. Bye-bye.